Hey folks, Harlow here. It's the Afternoon Fix, Friday Eve edition, going into the holiday weekend. We got half of Stern Approval in the house. What's up, guys?
How you doing?
We're going to do some live music for you. They're going to do some, and I'm going to do some chair dancing and make it fun for all here in the afternoon. And we've also got a great guest, Sean Murphy, coming on at 5:30. He is an expert in Wi-Fi security. You know, as when you're out in your restaurants and you're using Wi-Fi, he's going to tell us how they're jacking some of your personal information.
Oh man!
So it's going to be exciting and scary on the same day. Kind of. We're going to really mess with your emotions. So tune in at 4 o'clock. We'll be back in a moment. Keep it going. You're listening to AM 1230, 104.7. The very first 45. Sky, heard this one? Have you heard this before, gentlemen?
I have actually.
That's some cool Motown Spinners, of course. I wore this out. Most of the who's and the woos. You got to deal with the who's and the woos. And that's the thing I'm with you guys. When you hear a song and you know the O's and the who's and the woos, of course you can know the lyrics, but when you got the O's and the who's and the woos, you really got the song down.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I mean, when you're doing covers anyway.
Hey, that's those little details.
Absolutely, guys. First, over here, Nick Kubecki.
Hey there.
In the house. Saw you leading the guys. Got a cool Red Hot Chili Peppers shirt on. And, of course, our producer, Tony Panic, big fan, has decided to go with the ultimate tribute and has a Red Hot Chili Peppers tattoo on his wrist. Did it hurt, buddy?
But I do have a shirt too, so.
Well, to clean up the blood.
Yeah. It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
It's not like a murder scene where
I'm pain averse. Tattoos, guys?
Not yet.
No, not yet. I understand yet. I'm saying. You know what? I'm saying not. It'll never happen. But I'm going to say not yet too.
I'm not sure if I'm ever going to get one. I used to want one, but as I got older, it's never happened.
Right. Well, I don't know. I got better ways to spend my money. And you know what?
Yeah.
You see a few old ones, and you go, man, I don't look too cool at all. What's wrong with that guy's skin? Tell us where you're from, Nikki.
I'm from Hammond.
Yeah. Which one of our mega awesome high schools did you attend?
I went to Bishop Knoll.
Oh, very good. BNI grad.
Yep,
Awesome.
yep.
Good school. Learned a lot over there. Now, obviously, rock and roll is a big part of your life. You guys been a band for what you said, 4 years?
This iteration, yeah.
Is this the first band you've been in?
No, I've been in quite a few in my time.
Really? Already? Yeah. Really, you got to find guys with the right commitment, the same commitment level is what it is, and whether it's a lot or a little, it can be a little kind of thing. And were you in band or anything in high school, or how did you get into rock and roll?
I tried joining band in high school, but it didn't really happen. I got into like rock and roll and everything. My cousin and my uncle turned me on to The Offspring and Kiss.
Right?
And
Sure.
Those were my first two bands.
My second concert was Kiss. Don't ask my first one. We can talk about it. No, I was Barry. I saw Barry Manilow.
There's nothing wrong with Barry.
I saw Barry Manilow first, and then Kiss. So it was kind of rock and roll. Yeah, Offspring totally rules. They got that wow, they can really just bang it up a little bit. They were sort of the end of the grunge, but heavier.
Yeah.
But at least they kept it solid, and really maybe one of the last of the good, Seattle sort of influenced grunge tunes. And what are you doing these days?
These days I'm just working, playing, and I go to school at what's now Purdue Northwest.
Awesome. Yeah. What are you studying?
I'm doing electrical engineering and technology, ECET.
Amazing. That's the right place to go for it, by the way.
Yeah, I like tinkering with stuff.
Really, and obviously, so you could be a musician, tech, even somewhere down the road. That's kind of thing.
He's already building guitars, so
yeah.
You're building guitars.
Yeah, well, I'm not building, but I do all my own wiring work and pickups and all the electronics inside. I like to mess with.
And yeah, how's your fingers on that?
Oh, there's no burn marks.
Not anymore?
I
sometimes you haven't tested once in a while. If you know it's low current, you go, is it really hot? I didn't see that. I'm too I don't think I should work around electricity because I'm too inquisitive. That one didn't hurt really. Let's try this one. Turn it up to 80. Craziness. So what's great, and how do you know Omar here? How did you guys hook up?
We actually met at Purdue.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I went to Purdue for a little bit, and we started talking about music and everything in our engineering class. I had to go to work after.
You were studying engineering too.
I was. Then I realized it really wasn't for me.
Right. Wow, you really you gotta want it. Like you said, you gotta want to tinker. And I don't know. For me, I know I would lack the patience that you must have Nick?
Yeah. There's a lot of times when I'm inside a guitar and just it won't work.
Right? Well, you just keep trying, I guess.
Yeah.
Where are you from, Omar?
I'm actually from Hammond as well.
Where did you go to high school?
I went to Morton.
Oh, awesome. Right by my house here. We love the Govs. I was at Gov Fest, actually.
Yeah.
We've had a couple of your folks on the shows recently. Debbie Lucan and, gosh, what's his name? He's an awesome guy, too. The Arch guys, Greg Easton and, Don Cummins is his name.
Cummins, yeah.
Yeah, he's been on here promoting what they did over there. Were you a part of any of that over there?
I was actually. I was mostly part of the theater, both on stage and off stage.
Right?
Yeah.
Awesome. What play were you in?
I was in all of them.
All of them. I like that.
Yeah.
Good to hear. I'm also a performer. I do. We do unscripted sort of plays.
That's one thing I never got a handle on.
Doing improvisational comedy.
It's hard to improv.
Well, he's taking it. We've got a class rolling. Feel free to join in. We're doing over at Beak Nixon Highland. Tony here's taking it to the next level. Has joined the Chicago folks that do it up there, where it was born. That's where everybody comes from. And I mean, I just told you that's how I know. The guy from we showed you some pictures there. It's a mecca for everything in rock and roll.
Yep.
Again, we just saw you guys play up at the WJOB Memorial Bike and Run. You guys play rock and roll.
Yes, we do.
And
we hope to keep it alive.
And Omar's got a Queen shirt on. And what's funny is, when we get to all my 45s today, we'll probably have. We're going to please try to listen to the whole show, because it's sort of let's not burn it, but there's a grand finale here at the end of all this, because we try to keep them here for 2 hours, hopefully, doing their thing. Big families at all that you guys come from?
Well, I'm Mexican, so
okay.
That's a given. No, it's just me, my mom, my sister, and then my dad's out in Chicago.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah,
that's okay. Mine was gone too, but we had a good relationship. How about you, Nick?
I got a sister and my parents. My dad's side was kind of all over the place for a while. I had my grandparents were in Marengo, Illinois, and then his two siblings, my aunt and my uncle, they both lived down in Arizona. But my aunt's now in Marengo with my grandparents, and my uncle is down in Indy.
Nice.
My mom's side of family all pretty much lived around here. My aunt lived two blocks away from me. My grandma lived a couple miles down the road. She used to live in Chicago, but.
Well, it was great. Really coming. I certainly with both you guys, or at least attending Purdue Northwest, that it's a pretty solid campus, growing. Really the centerpiece for a lot of Hammond going right now. But we're here to talk a little bit of rock and roll. So what, as you were kids, real young kids. How old are you guys now? 20?
22.
22. Yeah.
22. As you were real young, what was the death? If you liked rock and roll then, mom and dad got to have a little bit of influence. It's just part of the deal. It's just like if you're a Cub fan or Sox fan. Your parents, like I played the Spinners. The Motown sound was a big part of my youth. Huge. What was you into when you were like, this is 5, 6, 7 when I started rocking out a little bit, or even anything that was rock and roll? What was the first stuff you listened to?
Let's see.
It could be the Chili Peppers, I guess. They're only 22.
The first couple groups that I remember from when I was younger, my mom used to listen to Fleetwood Mac and Cake a lot.
Right, yeah. Cake.
Cake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody loves Cake.
Yeah, and my dad was a big Journey and Van Halen fan.
I have all those on my iPod, so all those are all great bands. We wore out the Fleetwood Rumors album, which is one of, I guess, on the charts for, decades and decades and decades. People just kept buying it. I think it's still there somewhere.
It's such a good album.
And, yeah, we wore that out a few times. So certainly Fleetwood Mac is, one of those bands, like Eagles, everybody can sing, everybody can contribute a song. That's the kind of thing here. How about you, Omar?
Mine's a little bit different. I didn't get into rock and roll till I was 12 or 13.
Right?
Yeah,
What was around then?
I grew up listening to nothing but Mexican, Puerto Rican, Colombian music, just the Latin vibe. And I actually I played in Latin bands for a long time. My dad's a musician, so
that's awesome.
I was on stage learning music since I was 2.
That's pretty cool, man.
But no, my first Rock and Roll Record was a Guns N' Roses greatest hits album.
There you go.
And that really got me going.
Slash is the man. I thought was the biggest part of that band. So I'm not a huge Axl fan, and I always talk about my Appetite for Destruction. I got it. It never hits my player. It never does. But have you heard of? I'm going to turn you on. Have you heard of a band called that Slash in between Velvet Revolver and Guns N' Roses called Slash's Snake Pit?
I have, actually. I haven't listened to them, but I have heard
All right,
them.
I'm going to turn you guys. You want to get this album, and you're going to be very happy. Not the reason they didn't hit, guys, because the first album was a different singer, underproduced. It was hacked up. The guy's terrible. I heard about the second album first. Then I bought the first one. I used that first one as a coaster. It's terrible. Okay. Thank God I heard the first one first. And they opened up for AC/DC and around stuff. But it's Slash's Snake Pit. The name of the album is called Ain't Life Grand. Ain't Life Grand, for you rockers out there. It's bluesy, it's rock and roll. I mean, it's a little heavy.
It sounds like right up our alley.
If we ever hang out again or something, and we're going to get together, I will burn you a copy of mine, which I play. I don't bump it out here because it's a little heavy. But
check it out. Yeah.
it's definitely totally rock. So we want to keep the show going here with some live music too, and we're going to get back to some more chat in a minute. If you'd like, can you tell us about, again, everybody gets inspired different ways for songs, and even the grouping that you put together for us today, you put some thought into why 1, 2, and 3 are going in this order, I'm sure. That's what artists do. They think about every smallest little detail. That's what we do. Can you tell us about the first song we're going to hear today?
Yeah, the first song is called Settle. I used to have this thing where I'd go down to Walhalla Beach a lot and just with a guitar and try to write stuff down and make some stuff. And this is one of the ones that I wrote down there. It's a song about growing up and realizing that you and your friends and everyone you used to spend a lot of time with, you're going to grow apart because that's just what happens when you get older.
That's so true. You're too young to know that to be true, but it actually is. Friends I'd see 9 days in a row, I see 5 days a year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
All right. As soon as we're done, we're going to go to a quick commercial break here, but stick it around. Hey, guys, this is Stern Approval, and the song is called Settle.
Ever wonder what else could have been? The possibilities seemed endless. Are you ever up at night and your mind is just racing? To me it seems to happen all the time. Will I make the right choices? I really can't say. All in all, I still think I did okay. Every now and then, I look for you again. But all that I've got left of you are pictures. And it's really no one's fault. Life gets in the way. I guess that's what they meant by growing up. Did I make the right choices? I really can't say. All in all, I still think I did okay. Hey, you, how are you doing? I heard that you settled by the lake. Maybe if we're lucky, we can get a drink, do some catching up and talk about old times. We've all had those moments, romanticize the past, wish and wish that we could just go back. But time keeps moving forward, and I don't want to be left behind. Some sometimes you've gotta learn to move on. Did I make the right choices? I really can't say. All in all, I still think I did okay. Hey, you, how are you doing? I heard that you settled by the lake. Maybe if we're lucky, we can get a drink, do some catching up and talk about old times. Hey, you, I hear that you settled by the lake. Hey, you, I hear that you settled by the lake.
All right, guys, heard that one before. Tone?
I heard it.
You got it?
Who is that, though?
Anybody? Yeah, like a handful of hits, probably 2 handfuls. Jim Croce, that is, a troubadour in his own right there. Well, definitely one of my first. Saw it this morning. He sings. Geez, let me. All right, let's go to the iPod pad.
Right.
I'm sure I have at least "Time in a Bottle."
Oh, okay.
Bad Leroy Brown.
Yeah.
I'll have to say I love you in a love song. That's kind of. Let's play that one for a second. We can do what we want. It's radio. This is definitely real pretty. You just doing what you guys are doing, just thumping along, walking down a nice little chord progression, you know. Just.
Well, I know it's kind of late. I hope I didn't wake you.
Okay, enough of that. Enough of that. You guys are only here for now. That's Jim Croce. You can check out some of that good jam. I mean, again, for an acoustic jam, that might be something definitely cool to pull out. People love that kind of stuff. Jim, yeah, I'm sure. Again, I'm sure probably a hand-me-down. I was a latchkey kid, and the families that I would stay with again across this great county that we have. I'm not sure it was a good thing or a bad thing that I didn't stay for a whole lot of years at each spot as a single parent was working, right? And I had to get babysit. Some of the kids were, older, and then, turned me on to like that right there, Jim Croce. And probably what I'll play next is some Carpenters. If you've ever listened to the Carpenters. Yep. Yeah, I mean, you can say what you want. I mean, you can't deny the voice. You can't deny the voice. Again, it's sort of a slow song. My wife was there when I was putting my songs together today. Because I'm making sure that, this is right. I mean, because I've got the 45s I got that I have on iPod are probably, 50, 60 songs. I had to pick out ones that were just good. She says, oh, that's depressing. Don't play that one. One of them was Sky High, believe it or not, but a band called Jigsaw that she said not to play. But Carpenters is, she's sort of a sad life person. Most of her songs are sad, but she's awesome at it. Did you guys got 2 other guys in the band?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
We have Alex Pizzana, who is currently in North Carolina.
And we
Tar Heels, baby.
Probably sipping some margaritas on the beach or something.
Right, staying beneath his toes.
Yeah,
And we have Tommy Abbott, who's currently in Cleveland, Ohio, doing an internship for Arcelor, coming back in August.
Oh, well, that's a good gig, I imagine, right? I mean, that's the place to be.
Yeah,
benefits, good way to make money.
Yep.
Are these, similar Hammond guys? Anybody like grow up together, like the Beatles, or in the same high school or anything?
Well, coincidentally, I went to Bishop Knoll for 1 year with Tommy and Pizzana. We call him by his last name,
Right.
Pizzana. And I didn't meet Nick till Purdue. Purdue and the 2 of them met in high school and played around then.
All right.
Yeah, I met them in I was a sophomore, they were freshmen, and then I knew of them, but I didn't really meet them until I joined Drama Club when I was a sophomore.
Awesome. So are you guys both doing some acting along the way? I mean, it's the same thing. Everybody that acts or that wants to be a musician, plus I want to hit homers too. I mean, we want to be able to do everything.
Right.
It's tough too, though. What do you guys got coming up? I mean, you guys should be playing. I think you have really solid sound, and like I said, you guys play a diverse group of music. Obviously, we've got a Huddle the Troops from across the part of the states here.
Yeah.
When obviously probably sometime in the fall. Is that what we're
Probably
talking?
sometime in the mid to late fall. We'll have a
So
couple gigs coming up.
September-ish?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, make sure we know. We'll make sure the guys can get out there and check it out. Now, of the stuff you guys recorded, has that been put up anywhere, like YouTube-ish or anything?
We've got the stuff we've recorded. We've got it on our Reverb Nation. If you just look up Stern Approval, you should be the only ones.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Stern Approval on Reverb Nation. We have, I think, 4
I think
live
we have 5
songs?
up there. We have
Well,
2.
first, again, speak to someone who doesn't know anything. Like, I mean, we're idiots over here, especially me. What is a Reverb Nation?
Reverb Nation is a website where you as a band can post what shows you're doing, where you're doing them at. It's like a musician networking site, and you could also upload a couple of your songs.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, 2 of them are two that we recorded in our practice space. Actually, we're me and Tommy, the drummer. We're pretty big into like recording our own stuff. We enjoy doing it. So we started recording our own stuff. I think 2, maybe 3 years ago. So we've got a handful of stuff that's gotten progressively better over time. So we've got the best that we've gotten up there, and
Cool.
then 2 are. And then the other 3 are actually live from a show we did last summer.
Well, I'll tell you, the live you guys gave us there was really great. I mean, a good song with a good story behind it, and how I feel. The 4th of July is coming. It's one of those. What I was speaking about. It's one of those days. I'm going to see my crew that I grew up with when I was your age, and we'll play stupid beanbags and sweat like pigs and eat like hogs, and we'll blow things up.
America.
Kind of. I don't know these guys. These guys over the years. I don't know if you had anybody that's really into fireworks. Some of these guys have really gone over the edge sometimes.
Got a couple friends
We've
like that.
pulled them. We've pulled back
friend like that.
significantly. But we're talking sometimes like a group like spent 5 figures on their own thing besides everything else. 5 figures. I'm like,
That's a
holy
lot of
moly,
money.
that's a car. That's a car. I see you got Queen on now. What are you a pretty big fan? I mean, he's got the voice of my generation. I'll tell you that.
I'm as much as a fan as anybody who grew up in rock and roll and stuff. Obviously, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, that's a great song.
Keep yourself alive.
We Are the Champions. Killer Queen.
Oh, Killer Queen's great. I'm going to see how many Queen songs I just PQ. I just want to know how many songs they have of theirs on there. Only 26, but still a decent number.
Still a decent
Yeah.
amount.
Because did you know they have a bazillion albums with no hits on it at all? I
Yeah.
mean, they have a lot of albums out there. My buddy Dave Trosi, he's probably listening. He's my musical guru. Turned me on. Him and his brother was the ones that turned me on to Slash and Snake Pit, and numerous other great tuners. I think since we're at 4:35, we're going to take a quick commercial break again and go to traffic and weather. Come back right away to the second song, and we'll to tease them. Well, you know what? Let's leave all of it for the second half, so it syncs up better with our Facebook Live dealio, guys. Be back after these messages, and Tony with a microphone on AM 1230, 104.7 WJOB. I bet you that sounds amazing on 104.7.
Why that?
WJOB. We were just talking about Karen Carpenter. Never liked herself. Hated herself.
Mm-hmm.
Too famous to ever. I mean, she's like the Michael Jackson to me of the women's side of rock and roll. Or I don't know, call it rock and roll. I don't know, popular music.
Yeah.
I was telling her she was like one of the first women ever to sort of known to have that bulimia sort of. What was the other one again? Anorexia she had. And like she was getting so sick over the years, and they couldn't do anything about it to get her to eat or anything. I mean, they would roll her out or they would like start her out where she's laying down on a couch with a microphone with her brother there with a guitar and singing. Because, well, I mean, that was a gift, man. That's God. I mean, that's God's gift to music, I think. Certainly, guys. Folks, we're here with Stern Approval, Nick Kubecki and Omar Villalobos. And they sang a great song for us called Settle. And this is number 2 of 3 that they're going to be performing us in this first hour of the afternoon fix. Tell us about this one.
This one's called Shoulda Quit. This is another one of those beach songs that I wrote. This is just a song about about not letting someone walk over you, and like if you're in a bad spot to get out of it. It's loosely based on true events, but with a lot of the greats, there's a little exaggeration involved.
Of course. All right, great.
Let's roll. When I should have quit you chance. 'Cause now you got me caught like a fly in a spider strap. Thought you were an angel sent from heaven above. There ain't nothing sweet about your kind of love. Thought you'd be my savior and get me out of this place, but I was so wrong, it was my mistake. Now I'm lying here alone, so many tears I've cried, 'cause I ain't got you here right by my side. All the time I wasted trying to please you should have been but expense trying to erase you. You've been nothing but trouble since the day we met, and I got used to taking the affection I could get. I just want you to know that I'm finally free, and I won't have you standing over me. When my time finally comes and I walk out this door, I won't be there to walk on anymore. Comes and I'm finally free, I won't have you standing over me. Just so you know, when I walk out that door, I won't be there to walk on anymore. No, no, no.
Yeah. All right, guys. What do you think of that, man? That's a hit song if I ever heard one. Again, got some Latin flavor there, Omar. And a little jazzy, too, bluesy. And, yeah, man.
A lot of fifth chords.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's definitely if I was going to listen to some cool blues, those are the kind of chords I would hear, right?
Yeah.
Stevie Ray kind of stuff.
I used to be a real big fan of Clapton.
There you go.
Yeah, so there's a bit of Clapton in me.
Certainly. What are some of your other influences that you listen to? I mean, what's in your CD players right now?
Right now, there's they're a newer band called The Struts. I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
Of course not. Did you look at my ID? I don't listen. I don't hear anything.
They're called The Struts, and
right there.
I'm going to be real bold here in describing them, but they are rock and roll at its finest, mixed with today's kind of sound that you hear on some more popular radio
sort of
stations
echoation.
rock.
There's a lot of
a lot of production in the
behind it.
background.
Yeah, right.
But the singer borderline sounds like Freddie Mercury.
Really?
Yes.
That's not a bad thing.
And they have their first album that came out in the States, I think it's called Everybody Wants or something like that.
Right.
Just great. I can listen to it on the way to school just entirely.
What about you? What's in your player?
Well, I've always been a huge fan of Foo Fighters, but
me too. I love them.
Yeah.
What you guys think of that the traveling one though? Yay, nay? They went around and they came to Chicago even and played.
We actually saw him when he came to Indianapolis.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, Noblesville last year.
Right. What did you think of that? The music with that, and the last album that I have is Wasting Light, so I do have it.
There's one song on the new record that I just love. I can't remember what it is.
Is it the one on the radio?
It was one of the ones on the radio. It was the one where
the country dude.
No, from the Eagles.
Oh,
I can't remember his name.
Outside, Joe.
Yeah, Joe Walsh.
Joe Walsh.
Yeah, that one didn't get played on the radio, but that one's my favorite on the
Yeah,
record.
that's a
It's
great.
called
great
Outside,
track.
and I don't know if you know much about the new record. I'm a huge Foo Fighter fan.
Oh, me too.
So-
I'm looking to see how many songs they have. You guys keep talking.
But that latest album / HBO series, they went around, they traveled to different states with
Right.
reputations for great music and stuff like that. That was a really good documentary. I mean, that it tells you a lot about the history of music in itself, just like the other two Grohl did. I forget the names of them. Sound City something.
Sound City Players, and I don't remember the last
Yeah,
one.
but specifically the Outside song, it's called Outside. It's set in California, and they went to Rancho de la Luna, which is this little old shack in the middle of nowhere in the desert that a lot of great albums have been recorded.
Really?
And Joe Walsh is on that record, and what's amazing is Joe Walsh as a guitarist, listened to the song a couple times, I think, and when they went to record his solo that's featured on the song, he waited a full 8 or 16 bars before he even started a chord.
Right.
And it just sounds amazing.
He's one of the best. I got a lot of his stuff. 40 Foo Fighter songs, 7 albums I have in here. So,
Yeah,
I'm a fan.
but aside from Foo Fighters, I was always my grandma used to play Sinatra and Dean
There you
Martin
go,
all the time.
sure.
So recently, I've been getting into Frankie.
There you go. Right. Well, you can use them jazzy chords you guys just did there. 'Cause
Yeah.
that was tight. I mean, it sounded really good, guys. I mean,
Thank you.
I hope that we can hear some of this stuff from recording, and certainly you guys need to let us know if that happens. You know,
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, my band, my buddies that I've been with bands with, I mean, they always talk about the expense of getting something recorded. Well, when you make it, it's an investment in yourself,
Yeah.
and then the goal is to get your butt out there and start selling it. I mean,
mean-
how do rappers get big, right? They
Right.
sell it out of the back of their truck.
Yeah.
We have been talking, and we do want to record something that's radio quality. Hopefully by the end of this year, or maybe even summer of next year. Once we're
Well,
all,
there's a lot of local studios. I don't know,
Yeah.
where do you guys do your studio stuff at?
Our practice space actually. It's a
Right on.
basement. Yeah, we just have.
it's not
we
the it's
experiment.
not the greatest, but it works.
Right,
Yeah.
certainly with
Yeah,
the...
for what we have, I think
Yeah.
we've gotten some pretty solid stuff
But,
recorded.
We know a couple people who work in a couple studios, and we might be working with one of them as well.
You got to do it, man. I mean, it's important to yourself. I started comedy at 40, guys. I was a banker. I was a juvenile detention officer. Here we sit. Life change. If you got the guts to go and make a life change, you can do it. I mean, and then obviously it's already in your blood. You can tell that you guys again that has still some little Latin flair in that one. Still, I mean, I could see you doing a little. I love the chair dance. So I mean, it's great to have so much great talent going on around here. My phone is ringing. Why would you call me? I'm on the radio right now, guys. We need to take one more commercial break for this hour to catch up. Got to pay the bills. They allow us to have you guys on,
Right.
and we thank them, every one of them, down to their last inches on their patooties. And if you want a great steak and some great seafood, head on over to